How you doing, everybody? I'm Ken Bykoff, and welcome to the Peegs Postgame Live. Indiana goes on the road and scores a really critical win over Maryland, 84-64 at Maryland. A huge road win at on the road in the Big Ten, and that's what you're always looking for. 84-66 is your final. Indiana does the bulk of its damage in the second half. Indiana didn't do it by knocking down a pile of threes and made 8 of them, which is nice, but it wasn't a pile of threes. They did it by attacking the basket, by getting to the free throw line plenty, and basically taking advantage of a Maryland team that simply didn't seem to want to score a lot of points tonight. Maryland scores shoots 41% from the field, just 5 of 26 from three-point range, just 11 of 17 from the free throw line, and that's how you end up winning a ball game right there. 812-393-2600 is the number. Give me a call. I want to hear from you about this victory. Winning on the road by 18 is obviously a huge positive. I'm a little rattled right now, and here's why. This camera, I could see it. I'm a little off center. So I don't know if that makes it better somehow. Oh, there we go. Okay. The fine folks over that are listening to the podcast after the fact won't know anything about that. Just had to adjust the camera because I was off center. It was going to make me nuts. So anyway, 812-393-2600 is the number. The Hoosiers got a huge game from Lamar Wilkerson, which was everything. Wilkerson finishes with 24 points on 9 of 17 shooting. In the first half, Wilkerson had just 6 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Didn't put up big numbers there, but he did end up in the second half coming alive. 18 points on 7 of 12 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 4 rebounds and assists. No turnovers. The Hoosiers just 5 turnovers in the second half. And folks, that's exactly what we're going to be seeing with this team. This is going. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Indiana, when they are at home, knocks down the 3 ball pretty well. Does a really nice job with being efficient, knocking down shots, doing all that kind of stuff. On the road, they don't seem to shoot quite as well. And yet in the second half, they changed their approach a little bit. 6 of 13 from three-point range in the second half. Obviously, that's a positive after going 2 of 12 in the first half. But the key is Indiana started going to the bucket, scored 22 of their second half points in the paint, and shot 52.9% after the break, which shows just basically this is a team that realized it needed to find other ways to score before they went ahead and they got back to what they like to do, which is knocking down threes. And that's an effective, way to play the game. You have to be able to adjust inside the game. We've been concerned that this team is just going to live and die with a 3. And happily, that isn't the case. Happily, that's not what has happened. And I think it's fantastic. It's a huge win, especially when you throw in the fact you had 4 Hoosiers finish in double figures in scoring, which gives you that balance that you so desperately need. And you go on the road, you score 84 points after putting up 90 against Washington over the weekend. It's a very nice job of being able to take your game on the road, and yet again, finding different ways to win the game when what's normally is working isn't working. Start to go to the bucket, get to the free throw line. Indiana was solid from the free throw line, 22 of 26 from the free throw line, made all 16 of their first half free throw attempts, and that's how you score the win. 812-393-2600 is the number. We got our first caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, KB, Ryan from Round Lake calling back in.
How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. You ever see Wedding Crashers, the movie Wedding Crashers?
Of course, in the theater.
I remember what the jerk brother-in-law said, crab cakes and football. That's what we do. Remember that scene? They're playing in the backyard.
As John Favreau, I think
Where,
that was the, or was he the one that was the dirtbag brother in that one?
dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
But I want to, like, you think, like, we can have tenderloin and basketball, that's what we do, or tenderloin and football, that's what we do.
Well, we do have the option of both. I mean, and here we are in January, and we're still playing football, so that's pretty damn exciting in and of itself. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So hey,
But you
I
want to
heard
know
it in
something?
that game.
And this is blasphemy. I know this is blasphemy, but I don't get down real heavy with the tenderloin. Despite, I mean, obviously, I like a
You're
bite
from
to
the
eat.
region. You're
I,
from the
I'm
region.
from the
You're
region.
from the
Yeah,
region.
there's not a lot of tenderloins up in the region.
What do you get up there?
Oh, that's a lot of
Deep
pizza, a lot of beef
deep
sandwiches,
dish.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, hey, I heard. So at the end of the fish is flying out tomorrow to go down and call the Peach Bowl, then coming back to call the game on Saturday. That's incredible.
The man is dedicated. There's no arguing with that. He is absolutely dedicated. He doesn't like missing games, and he will do what he needs to do. Don't worry, Fish isn't exactly traveling, in a rusty bus. He flies well, but I mean he's coming back. He'll come back. He'll do it both, and the man is a wonder for sure. When I am talking to him in person, I give him a lot of guff because it's fun, and I've known him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But he is somebody that is just a dedicated guy, and everything that you hear him on the radio, he's a dedicated guy. He's just a genuine in real life.
Yep. Yep. Hey, and KB, this question, I'm not pinning you on this at all. So please, if you don't answer, don't answer it. Take a guess. If IU wins in football 2 more games at the end of the basketball season, he says, "I'm done." Go out, like Costanza. Costanza. Go out on a high note.
He would not stop before basketball season's over.
No. Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
If they do that, I mean, hell, I'll encourage him to do it. I love him. I love listening to him. I've always loved listening to him. And how does it get better than that? But I also know he has a real passion for it. But he is, getting up there. I give him guff all the time about how, like in '81 when they won, I couldn't stay up to hear his post game because I had to go to bed because it was school night. And I love talking to him about that kind of stuff because at the time I was 8 years old. I was in first grade. So talk to him about that. But it'll be a sad day for all of us when he's done. But boy, there ain't nobody who's earned a good retirement more than that gentleman. I'll tell you right now.
I agree with that. I remember, being a young buck, younger than I am now, and I had a little radio, but you used to have to plug them into the wall,
sure,
right? And tune it in and listen to Fish long after I should have gone to bed. My mom and dad said, Whitley County time, 8 o'clock. You go to sleep. Yeah, some of those games when they tinked later, I had my radio tuned and listened to Fish, and he's an all-time favorite. Last thing, and then I'll get off. There's a Portside Pizza's having a great Peach Bowl party on Friday evening. So any listener in Whitley County, we'd love to see you.
Absolutely. Pub that up.
Right.
Absolutely.
God bless.
All right. Take care, buddy. Bye.
See you.
812-393-2600 is the number. It's always good to have Fish get a little bit of love. Not that anybody ever knocks him down a notch, but it's fun to do so. We have another caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, yeah, this is Bill from Blue Lake. How are you?
I'm doing good, Bill. How are you? The Hoosier win is exciting.
Absolutely. I've got a fun one for you tonight. If you had to pick, since we're on the NFL the football and basketball trend here. If you had to pick one of the football players to start in the starting five, who would you put in?
Oh, I've said before, Omar Cooper.
Cooper?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. I feel like
Cooper's my
height and
guy.
athleticism.
Obviously, he could jump out of the gym. We saw that Penn State catch. He could, he jump. He's athletic. He's fast. He's a big guy. So yeah, it would absolutely be Cooper.
And vice versa, who would you put in the starting offense from basketball
From
on football?
basketball. Oh, that's a good question because those are relatively slim guys. I would go with probably Sam Alexis. Put him at tight end.
Sam Alexis.
Let him run a little. Not that
Yeah.
he's the fastest guy, but somebody you get him the ball in the red zone, he's going to be able to use the big body to box people out. Gives you a nice big target. That's who I would go with there. Because the other
Great
guys, maybe
answer.
they could play
Yeah.
corner, but a lot of them, I don't know if that's what they're built for. And then Tucker DeVries is a guy that is built to sell real estate at this point, but he's still out there playing, which is great.
Yeah, exactly right. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think today. Vice versa, who would I put on the football team? And I didn't really have an answer. I like your answer. So.
What impressed you with what you saw from the Hoosiers tonight?
The thing I liked that there was a little bit more consistency. I feel like it was more of a complete game. I mean, I don't think Maryland put them to a difficult test. It was on the road. I'm glad that they just played the whole game. It didn't feel like it was this big first half lull or a big open first half. It just was consistent play, and it just felt like a normal basketball game, which I appreciated. So.
Yeah, and you did have a little bit of inconsistency. I thought that the Hoosiers in the first half, they weren't knocking down as many shots. They weren't finding their way, to really being able to finish at the rim. But what they did, I thought that they did a nice job of turning up the defense a little bit on Maryland and also getting to the free throw line. And again, if your bread and butter isn't falling, if your threes aren't falling, but you're getting to the free throw line and you adjust with that, to me, that's what a decent team can do. And Indiana, has shown me in the past couple of games that it isn't all live or die by the three with them.
Yeah, and I guess my question too is what's happened with Maryland? Typically they've got a great team and loaded with threats, but I just feel like it's a down year with the NIL or just I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that they've been having trouble scoring all season, and when you're at home, you're supposed to be able to maybe be a little bit more efficient, but that it isn't working for them for sure. And it's a changing college sports landscape. So how different teams adjust to the NIL world is a big deal. And not everybody's going to do it perfectly, and not everybody's going to have the resources that other teams do from an NIL standpoint. So all of that comes together with a program that hasn't had a ton of success in the past couple of years, and so you get a team that's kind of middle of the pack right now. And if you're Indiana, all you can do is just take advantage of the opportunities that you have, especially on the road.
Yeah, I'm certainly loving it. Normally when you go into Maryland, you're not looking forward to that game, but tonight didn't feel that way. So.
For sure. It was to me. It was nice to see Miles Rice out there. I got no issue with Rice, former IU player, but 2 points is not the Miles Rice that we would have wanted to see and in an Indiana uniform. But for Maryland, hey, you know what? We know the kid is good, but you hold him to just 3 attempts on the night, you're doing pretty okay.
Yeah, I would agree. So, hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for your insights tonight. Hoosiers with another win. Gotta love that. So,
hey, it's the old Bull Durham thing. I love winning. It's like way better than losing. So,
hey, how you doing on your New Year's resolution?
I don't, I'm not a big New Year's resolution guy. One thing that I do want to do is, me and my family are going to Disney World. Last time, like the kids, they're 15 and 11. Got my 2 boys, the idiots, and we will go to the to Disney World with the idiots. And so I'd like to be a little bit thinner for that. So it's a weight loss, little bit of a weight loss effort because Lord knows I could use it. Between that and continue to save money on shampoo, so that's also a key for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad I asked. Well, hey, have a great trip down there.
We will. That'll be in a couple of months, so we got time. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yep, appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. 812-393-2600 is the number. Let's get into the individuals on this thing. We have the Hoosiers were led again by Lamar Wilkerson, 24 points and 9 of 17 shooting. He was 3 of 7 from three-point range, made all three of his free throw attempts, 6 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in 39 minutes. He was plus 21 on the night. To put in those kind of minutes and just actually get better as the game went on was a huge part of why Indiana was successful in this one. Tayton Connerway, 19 points on 6 of 12 shooting, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, had a couple of turnovers, but 4 assists, 2 turnovers. You're doing all right. 33 minutes there. And you're getting production from a guy. It's one of the only Hoosiers I feel that really can create his own offense off the bounce. Wilkerson can do that a little bit, but Connerway's the guy that can kind of create. And when he doesn't really shot hunt in a big way, but he will go to the basket and make things happen. And I think that is something that we saw today. Connor Enright, 16 points and 5 of 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from three-point range. Made all 4 of his free throw attempts, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 37 minutes, plus 16. Connor Enright has been looking for his shot a little bit more, and the Hoosiers are better because of it. You can't go out there and be running, with just 4 guys that could score or 4 guys that are willing to score. You have to be willing to go to the bucket. He did that. Went to the free throw line 4 times, knocked down some open threes, and it just balances the floor a lot better for the Hoosiers. And throw in the fact he had 4 3-point attempts, but he was 5 of 7 overall. So almost half of his shots came from inside the arc. And when you have that balance, it really makes the Hoosiers a lot more difficult to guard. Sam Alexis, 2 points on 0 of 4 shooting, 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 fouls, played just 12 minutes, was -5. He was not great. As much as I think that he might be a decent guy for the football team, was not great. His play is inconsistent, and so that's something to deal with. Tucker DeVries, 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 1 of 6 from three-point range, didn't get to the free throw line, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals in 22 minutes. He dealt with foul trouble. He had 4 fouls on the day. All of that comes together. You're on the road, and one of your seniors scores just 5 points. That's a 2,000-point scorer in his career. And yet you still score 84 points and win by 18. That means other guys have stepped up in a big way. And it was really, really great to see. That rounds out the starters. Reed Bailey, 15 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, a couple of assists in 28 minutes. He led the team plus 23 on the night. And that kind of effort, plus 23 on the night, you get to the free throw line 9 times, 3 times more than anybody else. Even though he doesn't finish at the basket the way I think most of us want to see, even though he's not the most efficient offensive player in the world, 15 points from Bailey can be tough to watch sometimes, but he does a great job of finding buckets along the way, whether it's scoring off of putbacks, things like that. It ain't pretty, but he's out there and he was productive tonight. Trent Sisley, 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting, 4 rebounds. He had a couple of fouls, had a turnover in 17 minutes, but he was plus 5. Nick Dorn plays 12 minutes, only gets 1 shot up, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers. So with Dorn, it's interesting because I think that he continues to get more and more comfortable. I think the Hoosiers would be better if he was a bit more aggressive with the ball in his hands, but there's a balance there too. You have to be willing to score. You have to be willing to do the little things without having to get shots up. And one thing that I do think this team has quite a bit of is good chemistry. They're an unselfish group. There's nobody going on, it ain't me time very often for this ball club. And that's an important part of the equation. If you could do that and score 84 points on the road when a 2,000 point scoring senior scores 5 points, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. And the fact that they scored 84 tonight after scoring 90 against Washington the other night, I think is critical as well, because it just shows that some of the explosiveness that they had earlier in the season seems to have come back in a way that it had slumped a little bit, prior to the break. As you figure, in the last 2 Big Ten games, Indiana scored more points than it did against either Siena or Chicago State. Certainly more than Kentucky. So, against Louisville earlier this year, 78 points. Against Minnesota, 64 points. That one was at home. Penn State, obviously, they scored 113. But the fact that they are in 2026 and making buckets and finding ways to score at a real nice clip is really, really something that is incredibly encouraging. 812-393-2600 is the number. Give us a call. We want to talk to you, want to hear from you. Whatever it is that you want to talk about. Even too, my New Year's resolutions, hair care tips. I'm here for it. Whatever that you need. I know somebody that just calls in just about every game to give me a poem. So we're wide open here. If you want to talk IU football, we could do that too. More than happy to do that, because obviously the Hoosiers have the Peach Bowl coming up Friday night in the college football playoffs, and it's an awful exciting time. Plus, Kurt Signetti's been absolutely killing it when it comes to the transfer portal, and can't say enough about that and the job that they've done. So. I also know a lot of our normal audience is traveling to Atlanta to enjoy that Peach Bowl, which that group of going downtown is going to be incredible. It's going to be an IU home game, especially with Oregon being so far away from Atlanta. They go to the college football playoffs, or have done it. In recent years, I guess the novelty of it isn't quite the same. So that makes a difference with attendance. Whereas, Indiana went to the college football playoffs last year, but they went to South Bend, Indiana. So that was an easy drive. But this is something different, because I know from Bloomington, it's about 7 hours. So it's a nice drive. But hell, you're from the Midwest, 7 hours. That's no big deal at all. We go to my wife's family in the region, 3 hours, and you don't even blink about that drive. So there's that. I see that right now in Atlanta, by the way, Fernando Mendoza is being part of the press conferences. It's coming up. Jared Kelly from Peegs is doing the coverage there. So be sure to go to Peegs.com to get on that information and all the coverage from the Peach Bowl. Boy, it's nice to be thinking about football at this time, isn't it? It just it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And when you have a successful basketball program, that is makes everything, more exciting as well. And when you look at this team, they're sitting here at 12-3 overall, 3-1 in conference. They pick up their first Big Ten road win and looked so much better today on the road than they did, here's the down. Then when they have in other places, Louisville, Kentucky, other road games, they have not looked nearly as comfortable. Something, though, that is interesting, when they went to Minneapolis and they played in the barn, they didn't shoot the ball well, and they didn't really have an answer to anything once that happened. Once they weren't making threes. And this one, it's a different situation. 8 of 25 from 3-point range is pretty rock solid, and that is incredibly important. 812-393-2600. Lines are open. I'll be, we could talk a little bit of football as well here on the post game show. But this is as my Apple Watch is beeping, getting text messages, but doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing here. So there's that. Don't know if we're going to get any audio from Darren DeVries. A little bit of an interesting situation behind the scenes here is who goes to cover Maryland when you have the Peach Bowl stuff. So it's a split media. I'll tell you right now, I am going to be one of the few who is at that Nebraska game. There's going to be other people there, but I'm here in Bloomington. I'm going to do the show from in town, and so that Peach Bowl's on Friday night. You have Nebraska basketball at noon on Saturday. So that isn't enough time to come back and get to that and be worth a damn. So I'm going to be doing the bunch of coverage from IU Nebraska, but that is Indiana's next challenge, and it is a challenge. Nebraska is a top 10 team, 10 in one poll, 11 in the other, but for all intents and purposes, a top 10 team. It is a ball club that leads the Big Ten, so there's opportunities there. They are 15-0 overall, 4-0 in the Big Ten, tied with Michigan and Purdue for the only undefeated teams in the Big Ten. But Indiana has a real opportunity against the Cornhuskers, a real opportunity. They've proven to be tough. They beat Illinois on the road, a good Illinois team, 83-30 back in December. They beat a Michigan State team that's very good at home, 58-56. Went to Ohio State, and it's just kind of a middling Ohio State team this year, but won by 3. So they're finding ways to win, and they're doing it by holding opponents to usually in the 50s. A couple of those teams have been up there. Illinois scored 80. Ohio State scored 69. But usually when they win, it's in the 50s, 60s. Kansas State they played. Indiana played Kansas State. The Hoosiers won that ball game 86-69. When Nebraska took them on, they won, but it was 86-85. So they're winning some close games. So for that one, the Hoosiers playing at home is going to be really important in that one, and that's a real opportunity for the Hoosiers. Again, that tip-off of the game is at noon Eastern. We will obviously have a call-in show after the Peach Bowl. We will have a call-in show after the Nebraska game. So I truly love talking to you folks. So hopefully we will, again, lines are open. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. At this time, we might actually get Darren DeVries, which is important. So let me see what I can do here. I got to pull up this video from Darren DeVries' post-game meeting with the media. So let's see. Here we go.
How we doing, everyone?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, gotcha.
Just curious, thanks for the time, by the way. With Reed, it seemed like early on he was maybe a little tentative, and then this kind of as he got into the game, got more aggressive. How important is that going to be for him to continue to do that moving forward? And And also his free throw shooting was also big in the game.
Yeah, I thought Reed had a huge impact on the game at both ends of the floor. Just his ability to cover both sides of ball screens, and then also on the offensive end to be a connector in some of the plays we're running. But then also like his force and athleticism, to get to the rim. I thought he did a really good job out of. One of the timeouts of accepting the challenge of being more assertive, being more aggressive, attacking the rim, with more force and authority. And I thought he had a really good stretch in there. He had a couple nice dunks, and his ability to get fouled. That plays such a big part of our offense when he's able to do that.
With Connor, he for the second straight game scored more than kind of what he's done early in the season, but that aggressiveness, I feel like in the first half kind of helped open things up for some other guys. Just what can you say about his play? I mean, the whole season he's been consistent in terms of being able to run the offense, but these last two games really been more aggressive, looking for a shot, looking for offense. It feels like it's really helped you guys there.
Yeah, I think Connor, he's just one of those guys that does whatever the game dictates. He just wants to win. And, last couple of games, they haven't been guarded him quite as closely. So he can shoot it. I promise you he can shoot it. I see those guys every day. And, when they put in the work, they just got off to a slow start to begin the season. So it's not one of those things where, hey, we got bad shooters and they're just shooting low percentages. They're actually good shooters that just went through a little slump to start the year. So, I'm excited about the way he's continued to play, and he just always tries to make the right play, the winning play. And the last couple of games, it's been a little bit more scoring, which is great.
Best thing for me,
How val-
just go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how valuable is it to the psyche of the team to get this first road win?
Yeah, I think it's always good. I mean, we've only had a couple opportunities, and we know we didn't maybe perform as well as we would have liked in those two games. But there was also learning opportunities for us in those losses that I think we adjusted nicely to. Like we got off to a slow start tonight, and I thought we took some of the things that maybe hindered us from coming away with a win in our first two road games, and we're able to fix it, which is great to see. A sign of a veteran group. I thought again they out rebounded Maryland here tonight. I thought our offensive flow was much better as the game went on. Something that didn't happen. I thought our shot selection and patience of when to shoot, when not to, when to get the movement. I thought the guys just did a really good job of playing off of one another. Again, something that maybe we didn't do as well as we would have liked in a couple of our losses.
It looked like you found ways to get Lamar open looks in the second half. What did you find there? Like what holes in the defense or otherwise did you find to start getting him open?
Yeah, we did a few things, a couple of quick hitter plays and stuff that, we always try to do once a guy gets going. And I thought the guys, we wanted him to cut a little bit more to get lost, I guess, where he wasn't just standing and they could stand beside him. So we got him in a little more actions, a little bit more on the move. And then because of that, we could use some of that movement now to put some counter moves or counter plays that we have to try to get him free. And I thought the guys did a really good job of, looking for him, screening for him and giving him those opportunities. And then obviously he took advantage of it.
Second straight game, you guys have been much better on the defensive glass. Do you feel like the work that you did there over the break has kind of paid off here, and also these guys getting a feel for kind of what the physicality is going to be like in the Big Ten? Do you think you're making strides in that area?
Yeah, I think we've taken really good strides here the first two games, but we have to continue to prioritize it, and we know that. So, I think these last two games have gained some confidence from our guys from a rebounding standpoint of, hey, you don't have to be 7-2 and jump out of the gym to get a rebound. They're just a little bit of want to, and I think they collectively as a group. We've done a good job here as we've come back from Christmas break and prioritize the rebounding aspect of it. And we're going to need to continue to do that every night if we're going to have any success.
Speaking of rebounding, Trent, second half on the glass seemed like he had a really couple big effort plays that helped, protect the lead and really give you guys more momentum. I know we ask you about his effort every game, but to get that on the road from a freshman seemed pretty valuable.
Yeah, I thought Trent had a great second half. I thought he made some impactful plays, effort plays, toughness plays. Had a couple cuts, but some offensive rebounds. I love it when he gets into that mindset and that mentality because he's so long and athletic and has such a good feel for when to cut and when to go rebound. And I thought that was another big factor. Second game in a row, we're in the second half. He's come out and given us really big minutes off the bench.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
So there's Darren DeVries during his post-game press conference. And so, you know what, again, I continue to like with DeVries is the fact that he can admit, we got off to a slow start, that we weren't playing as well as we needed to, and is open about that. Again, I am really bothered by coaches that it's not a matter of them throwing their players under the bus. All of us have eyes. We could see a slow start. We know what that looks like. We understand it. And so being able to come out and admit it, I think gives you credibility and allows you to do that. By the way, stat from inside the hall, with tonight's win at Maryland, Indiana is currently number 25 in KenPom and number 17 in Bart Torvik. And so, all of these things combine to be a situation where Indiana basketball isn't ranked, nor should it be. They're 3-1 in the Big Ten, and they have themselves a real nice test coming up on Saturday against Nebraska. Things don't get easier after that. They have to go to Michigan State. Then they have Iowa here in Bloomington. Then they have to go to Michigan. So it's a tough stretch here. You're talking about Nebraska, Michigan State, Michigan. A win over Nebraska would be absolutely huge for this team. You're playing at home. This is a good Nebraska team that finds ways to win. So you're going to have to be fired up. I'm fascinated to see what the crowd is going to be at Assembly Hall. I was just wowed by the lack of attendance when it comes to this game here in Maryland. Just stunning. Just not at all what you expect to see from that crew. Again, this is not a Maryland team that's getting a ton of support right now. I'll say that. By the way, Kentucky just lost at home to Missouri. So there's that. I know it's Kentucky, and I've rallied against this, that Kentucky doesn't exactly move you the way that it used to, that big time off. And obviously there's the game earlier this year. But this is an Indiana team that has opportunities ahead of it, that I don't want to say that it's been a disappointing season, because it hasn't been disappointing. You can't be 12-3 and disappointing. I don't think this is a team that has engaged the fan base. And how do you do that? To me, it's kind of a function of so many new guys coming in and people knowing they're only going to be here for 1 year. This is a transition year. So you're trying to get the most that you can out of it. It has been, I believe, a better brand of basketball than what we've seen in the past. But even at that, it is more of a modern way of playing. It's high scoring. It is a, three or dunk kind of situation. It's not for everybody. But then again, and please don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying, that they are apples and apples. What I'm saying is that the style of play that Bob Knight played when he got here was very different than what Indiana had previously been playing. And this obviously is a very different way of playing than it previously had been, where you had two posts and everything was slow and not a lot of threes. This is a lot more threes and not as dynamic a team in terms of maybe talent, but I think that the chemistry is infinitely better this year than it has been. And so you're 12-3. And so that to me is a huge positive, especially picking up a win on the road. One thing I'm going to pull this up right now and check it. 12 wins. And I want to know what Indiana, how many wins they had at this time last year. I'm interested in that. And now the page isn't loading. IUHoosiers.com. Frustrating as usual. Kind of hate technology. By the way, 812-393-2600 is the number. Give me a call. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping this up pretty quickly. By the way, we're going to have a football preview episode of the Peegs podcast. That will go live Friday morning. Obviously, Friday evening, we have the call-in show, so looking forward to that. But it's an exciting week, and Indiana took advantage of its opportunity and has an opportunity on the hardwood this weekend. Let's see if they will be able to do it and take advantage of it. Again, Indiana, their numbers, 45% from the field overall, 32% from three-point range, but they made a living at the free throw line. Shot 26 free throws versus just 17 for Nebraska. Got better as the game went on because it wasn't the most fired up team. But then again, the energy in that building seemed like it was pretty garbage to begin with. So Saturday will be very different. One thing, either it's going to be exciting because people are excited to see them play Nebraska and get a win against a top 10 team. And maybe, if things don't go well Friday night, that this is an opportunity for them to turn and rally for the basketball team. And if IU football wins, everybody's going to be at Assembly Hall on a major high and excited to cheer on the Hoosiers, even if it's another team, another sport, cheer on the Hoosiers in person. That is something that is coming up. So we will see if I'm excited for what this weekend holds. Again, call-in show after the football game, call-in show after the basketball game, and that's what we're looking at. Pretty excited. But from Maryland, for the time being, Indiana scores an 84-66 win over the Terrapins to move to 12-3 overall, 3-1 in Big Ten play, and continue to be efficient with the ball. 13 turnovers, 27 made baskets. I'd like to see that number come up a little bit more, but you also had a lot of potential assists that ended at the free throw line. And so there's a little bit of a give and take there. Should also be very happy with the fact that Indiana out-rebounded Maryland 41-33. That's really important. And that's 41-33 overall and 14-12 on the offensive glass. For this team, that's something that really needs to be a part of the equation. And so rebounding, putting a body on a body is really important. The Hoosiers did that, and that's why they walk away with the victory. Well, that's all the time we have on the Peegs Postgame Live. I want to thank you for listening, and I want to remind you to visit Peegs.com for the very best in IU football and basketball coverage you're going to find anywhere. Nobody covers Hoosier recruiting better than Jeff Rabjohns, Matt Weaver, Trevor Andershock, and Jared Kelly. So come be a part of a thriving and exciting community at Peegs.com. Folks, you are not going to be disappointed. Folks, we're out of time, but for now, and for Jeff, Matt, Trevor, and Jared, I'm Ken Bykoff saying thanks for listening, everybody.